Hello everyone and welcome back. Alex here, and today I'm going to do a skill review for, as you can see, the Elementalist. The Elementalist is a class that, while it's a bit more forgiving than some of the other classes such as the Assassin and a few others, it is still a class that has a lot of synergy, particularly between the different elemental lines. I've demonstrated this a bit before with Shatterstone, I believe a few others. Iron Mist is another one. But today we're going to really kind of crank this up a little bit. Rather than just showing synergy between one spell and another spell, we're going to show the synergy in more of a broader context. And what I mean by that is the elite skill that allows that to happen. Now, it's a very common elite skill. It's a core elite skill. You'll find it in all of the major campaigns, so it should not be too hard to find, and that is the elite skill Elemental Attunement. Elemental Attunement is a key skill for any kind of elementalist that is what we would call a prismatic elementalist, which means they use more than one attribute line, sometimes two and maybe even three attribute lines. And this elite skill helps a lot because it does quite a few things. It does some skill bar compression, which I'll demonstrate here in a second, and it really opens up some possibilities with strategy. So let's just read it real quick. Elemental Attunement. So for 10 energy, 1 second casting time, and 20-second recharge time, it's an elite enchantment spell. For 58 seconds, and again, this is at energy storage 14, you are attuned to air, fire, water, and earth, and you gain +2 to these attributes. You gain 50% of the base energy cost of the skill each time you use magic associated with any of these elements. So it's all for elements. Now let's compare that to your standard attunement spell for whichever elemental proficiency that you're going after. Let's say in this case a fire attunement. Same thing, about 52 seconds, actually a lot longer recharge time at 30 seconds. 10 energy, 1 second cast time, I think same as the other, but you're only tuned to one element. You gain 1 energy plus 30% of the base energy cost for each time you use that skill. So it's all about energy management. And Elemental Attunement is a big jump in energy management because at 50%, it really opens up the door for you using more powerful spells and not draining yourself as quickly as you would with a normal attunement spell. And of course, depending on which elemental attunement you're using, sometimes it's better to use something else than even the elemental attunement. So maybe, for example, air magic, which doesn't have so many high-powered or high-cost spells, you could probably get away without an elemental attunement at all. But for fire, for example, you have some major ones. You have Roggart's Invocation, or you have Meteor Shower, and Phoenix, and Fireball, and several others. So you can run down your mana very quickly. So you need something there. But unfortunately, you're only attuned to one. But what happens if you are also wanting to bring in air magic, or water magic, or earth magic? Well, for those, you don't get any benefit. You just pay the full cost, and that's it. But with Elemental Attunement, though, you get that 50% benefit across all the spells, which makes a huge difference. Now, let's take this a little bit further. So I'm going to kick Fire Attunement out. And now, what this allows me to do is be able to split at least 2 lines very effectively. So in this case, I have fire magic and I have air magic. And one of the reasons that these two kind of go together is because in the air magic line, you have a skill such as Ten Eyes Wind. And as I mentioned before, Ten Eyes skills are always synergized with other elements. So in this case, Ten Eyes Wind synergizes with the burning condition, which is the home of the fire spells. And the fire spells give a lot of burning conditions, and being able to utilize that with Ten Eyes Wind is a key aspect of really stacking these things up, and that's what you want to do. So I am going to kick out the elemental attunement over to slot 8. I'm going to kick out the fire attunement, as you see here, and I'm going to actually drop in meteor shower. So I got some pretty expensive skills here. I got Rod Guts Invitation, I got meteor shower, I got chain lightning, I got incendiary bonds. Those are both 10s, and I got a couple light ones here at 5, but they also have synergy with the overcast mechanic, which this one, and meteor shower all gives, and that's incendiary bonds, chain lightning, and meteor shower. So the 3 skills that give overcast. You gotta be a little bit careful with the overcast management, but other than that, you shouldn't have a problem with the energy drain as much as you would think. So what else does it do? Well, that +2 attunement. Now that's a key thing, because now you can really bump up the effectiveness of, rather coming in at 10, you can come in at 12. That's pretty nice. And if you have some minor runes, you can even upgrade that even further to bump it up to 13 and 14 energy storage. Okay, so some things you need. Well, first of all, the headpiece should be a energy storage headpiece rather than one to any particular line. You really need this to last as long as possible and to get those +2 attributes, and also to bump up your base pool, because this is going to cover the other 2 or 3 lines that you're going to use. The other thing that you can do is you can also use the prismatic prefix in your armor. So prismatic inscription, I should say. So we can drop this in, drop this in, drop this in, and there we go. And now at base 9, I have actually +10 armor rather than +5. So actually I'm coming in at 70 armor rather than the base 60 armor. So that's pretty nice. And if you're really good, you can actually probably drop these down, get this up to like at least 7. You can go to 3 lines, use that, and then you can get like actually 15 armor. So you can actually up your armor quite a bit here. But then your skill board is going to be pretty spread out, so you really need to keep synergy in mind at that point. So, but anyways, not using earth magic. I'm going to use air magic and fire magic. They're going to be base 10. And there we go. So that +2 to attributes line, that is like a free glyph of elemental power. You get that for free. So that's what I mean by a skill bar compression, which means instead of having a fire attunement or air attunement, or in this case 2 attunements and a glyph of elemental power to get the same effect. That is 3 slots to get the same effect as 1. So now you can use more effective spells in your skill bar, because you only got 8 slots and you have to make them count. Alright, so let's go over here. This is a mission I've been working on for a while. I haven't gotten it down, but I've been kind of using this as kind of a test bed for some of this. And last time it went pretty well, but this is a tough mission because there's a lot of wind riders and they like both shatter enchantment and cast a lot of illusions, which can really mess up some casting classes. So I actually got 2 melee classes, and I'm even tempted to do 3. So I'm actually going to bring in, I'll bring in little Tom as well. So this is going to be 2 of us, casters, a monk, and 3 melee. We'll just see how it goes here. But I'm definitely be on the firepower side. Now, in synergy here, this is the important thing. So here, I have 10 Eyes Wind, I have Chain Lightning, and I have Incendiary Bonds. So Incendiary Bonds triggers after 3 seconds. So I can hit this one, then cast Chain Lightning, which is 2 seconds, and then hit 10 Eyes Wind at 1 second, which means the Chain Lightning will trigger, then Incendiary Bonds will trigger, and then 10 Eyes Wind will also trigger at the same time. And that could be a lot of damage. Okay, now in this very first area here, that's actually very important to be careful with these Wind Riders because they can be a real headache. So I'm gonna actually check one here. I'm actually gonna, nope. Yeah, I don't want my monk going after him. There we go. So we got the dervish and the warrior. And let's see. I'm going to bring them out front. Let them catch aggro. Okay. Two, three. There we go. We gotta kill these Wind Riders really fast. Okay, and yep. It's that arcane illusion. Alright. Now we can kick this on. There we go. Actually, I did that backwards, but that's okay. That's not the key point I wanted to demonstrate. It's actually in this section up here. Now up here, this is a really tricky area because there are 3 life pods, there are moss scarabs, and there's this entangling roots. So, we're going to send our guys here. Okay, we're going to kick that on. And there are the life pods. So, okay, 1, and 2, and 3. And, Rock Guard's Invocation. And, you know what? Give him a good old meteor shower here. 1, 2. And this is just bullying him down just as fast as possible here. But look at this. Even though I'm just blasting with Rock Guard's Invocation, I am not running into too many energy problems. And only really about now am I starting to have to dial it back here. But now, these guys are gone. That being said, it is good to have a henchman with Blood Ritual that can top you up. Actually, having a henchman or a hero with Blood Ritual is always nice. So if you have a hero, use Blood Ritual. If you need a henchman, Cynn has Blood Ritual all the time. So that's nice. Okay, so we'll focus on one more group here. And again, as I said, I have 12, 12, and 2 in Earth and Water magic. So now I have some pretty effective spells here. Yeah, those definitely hit more. Okay. Now this area right here, you got to be very careful because you have 3 patrols intersecting. You have to pull them out one at a time. So when you do this mission on hard mode, especially wilds, you've got to be patient. You got to be able to step through it here, because if these 3 groups come together and you're in the middle here, you're going to die very, very quickly. And this was a real challenge for me when trying to do this mission in hard mode. So I'm going to be patient. Okay, that patrol is going to go away, and there's going to be 3 that's going to come forward here. All right. And let's see if I can pull these guys out and run back. Oh, Sigmund of Judgment, not good. So let's get my team back here. Hopefully they can heal me. And they did. All right, let's get to work. Again, they're really doing a number here, but that's why I'm here. Okay, I took out Nox. Good, 2. And watch those numbers fly up. So even with the Moss Scarab's Vampiric Touch, you know, that's having a hard time even trying to get rid of my all my spells here. And okay, there's another group. There's another one. Yeah, some real numbers coming up here. Boom. Skill up, always nice. Okay, and actually now I've ran out of... Where's that life pod? Okay. That life pod is going to have to die. Yeah, so actually now, but even though... Ooh, okay. Well, I did not mean to do that. I actually fought all three groups at the same time, but thankfully they were a little bit staggered coming in. I was able to funnel them into this kind of corridor here, and the characters that died were my melee characters, not my monk or my necromancer or myself. And melee characters, they have a little bit easier time in getting their DP back than the non-melee characters. They made my casters. That's just due to the simple fact that they have armor that they can still rely on, while the casters don't. No. Oh, I need to put the elemental attune on. I forgot about that. So anyways, that was a good demonstration of what elemental attunement opens up, and it can be very, very effective, especially when you have cases like these guys where there's a lot of them bunched together and you need to crank out a lot of damage without worrying too much about your mana. At least not as much. Again, it's not a free ride. Again, during that last fight, I did peter out towards the very end when I had to take out that life pod. But again, that was that battle was pretty much finished because it was just all of us against them. My melee characters are back on their feet, and we were good to go. So anyways, I'm not going to go through the whole mission. I just wanted to demonstrate that and really show what elemental attunement can really open up. Because this was a skill actually I did not use for a very, very long time, but it's a very good skill to experiment with when you got 2 lines, 3 lines, and you really want to do synergy between those 3 lines, or just bring some more versatility to your build. Sometimes you want to bring in kind of an elemental version of a toolbox build, and okay, I need some burning, and I need some cracked armor, I need some snares, I need some DPS, I need this, that. You kind of don't want to do that, but if you find yourself in the situation where you need to bring in more than one aspect from more than 1 or 2 lines, or maybe even 3 lines, then elemental attunement can really mitigate the loss in effectiveness than rather just going in with 1 line or 2 lines. Or if you go in with 2 lines, elemental attunement can really bump up those 2 lines and give you a very high energy storage capability. So you don't lose that much because, again, as I mentioned, it's a free signet of, free glyph of elemental power, and I'll take that, free bonus anytime. So, anyways, that concludes my skill review for elemental attunement. Again, I apologize for stumbling over my words a little bit, but I think I made myself mostly understood. But this is a very nice utility skill that can relieve a lot of headaches and open up a lot of possibilities, and even increase your armor with the right insignias on your armor. So anyways, I'll conclude it there, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing some more skill reviews in the future. Take care, everyone, and if you like this video, don't forget, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, please like it. I can always do more videos, and I always like to make sure that you are notified when I do a video, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell, and you'll be the first to know when I make a new skill review or I make any other content from any other game. All right, take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.